calling you a radical, I wanted to get this and explain this. So, post 2011, this all started in 2011, the Great Bubble over the Western North America, which I'm the guy that named it, the Great Western North America Heat Bubble Drought. I named it, I'm the first guy that identified it, and that's an unarguable fact. So, let's talk about this. You catch my northern drift. Now, Fukushima, Japan, the meltdowns there, they come out yesterday and said, we got the first footage. Yeah, it's all melted down completely. They finally admit using the word meltdowns, TEPCO, on day 4,404. So I hypothesized that there would be an energy that would be pushed. So whether it was this or not, whatever, the fact is in 2011, a big parked right here. It parked right here. This big heat dome, as I called it. And that's exactly what it was. It was a heat dome. For 10 years, the jet stream, now Fugo me not, the jet stream wasn't even discovered till, really, officially till World War II. Remember, they were flying Fugo bombs through the jet stream, they hypothesized, and they were getting here, and we kept it quiet. Killed Archie, the preacher, in his Sunday school in Oregon. Fugo me not. So we know, and so the jet stream did this. It went up and it dove right over this heat, over the western bubble. And it went just like this. And it just dove into the Midwest and the East. I always, I spent all this time in D.C. all those years, and all it did was rain. They had record rain year after year after year after. The winters in this part of from 2011 till 2021 were incredible record stuff. Record here was the greatest drought in 1,200 years. So what's happened different in 23? And this is unarguable. This is the climatologist in Kevin Blanche. So what happened is this heat dome, and it's unarguable, has went like this and pushed clear up north. This dome has went like that. And the jet stream is, it's unheard of what this jet stream is doing for as long as it's doing. It's going like this, clear to the top of the earth, and it's coming back down like this. When it snows in Mexico City 3 times this year, my grandson was in Mexico City when I had my heart attack and had my open heart surgery. And what a journey, him getting home. Thank God he got home to see me right before I went into surgery and I came out. But so it's just dove down here, and we've got record winter going by far. This winter in Utah is beyond record. It's record all time by far. It's April Fool's Day, and this ain't no joke. So what happened, it shifted like this. You catch my northern Pacific drift. So these melted down. They pushed it into the ocean. That's unarguable now. It's unarguable, which I named it Argentina Syndrome. Why? Because China Syndrome was hypothesized that these cores would melt down. They had that right, by the way. If you had a meltdown, for say at 3 Mile Island, it would melt down, come out in China, straight through the earth. Well, if you melt down here, you come out all the way down here in Del Mar, Argentina. So I named it Argentina Syndrome in early April of 2011. I told you what 60 Minutes told you on day 3000 in the first hour of Fukushima. So the energy's been pushed here. Now, you know what I call it. I call it plutonium. It's my hypothesis. And, the jet stream, we know we crashed Radnet. We know that's an unarguable fact that they took down Radnet immediately. That's the radiation to Gina McCarthy, when then became head of EPA, then became climate czar, and then Trump got in, Scotty Pruitt. They all went along with this, cover up of don't say the F word. So we know acutely the Salmon collapse. First, the tide pools went all along here. Now we know the Stillhead collapsed 2011, but the Chinook didn't collapse till 2016. Well, they go to sea. They live here for 5 years, on average of 5 years. I told everybody, this is not a gradual thing, because we had record returns on all these rivers on 2008, 7, 9, 10, 11, then 12, the Stillhead from Idaho, whatever, They go to sea for one. They live in the sea 1 to 2 years. They started collapse in 2012, acutely radical collapse. The starfish went first, just like Kevin Lynch said, and they called it wasting disease. Then I says, will you believe me when the Chinook collapsed in 2016? Because we had record returns on the Columbia everywhere. We had 2.8 million on the Columbia if you take out the gillnet, the catch, and the crossover of the dam. Huge beast. We had, the live cam, we could watch them. We had record in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I says, will you believe me when they collapsed in 2016? Oh, they collapsed in 2016 acutely, to the point now that it's all closed emergency. I mean, it'd been in violation of the Endangered Species Act for 3 administrations. And, you don't have Greenpeace, you don't have Sakara Club, you don't have Friends of the Earth, because they all got bought out by the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. Everybody's gone along. So this acute catastrophe, so the heat bubble, the fires, which I all predicted, you know what I call them, Fukushima fires. I hypothesized they're going to push this energy. They're going to lie about these meltdowns. I'm the only guy on Earth that was calling them meltdowns in the early days forever. All the half-nukers, Gunnarsson called it a hydrogen blast for 7 years. Helen said Japan was tidy, people and fixed it. Busby says the Pacific Ocean's a big place, it'll dilute. So this current that comes right here, now, about the collapse on the Russian peninsula right here, when everything washed up dead in 2019, acutely. And the surfers said they felt burning their eyes. And the first bootleg videos you could hear, you didn't need to speak Russian. They says, Fukushima. People forget how close that is. Into the trench, the course into the trench. What's the big long trench named here, kids? Come on, you know it. What's this trench named right here? The Peninsula Trench, Alaska. And so we bought Alaska, right? From, God, they really do almost touch. So the Japanese current flows into the California current. Remember, the bridge made it from Fukushima, Japan to Gold Beach, Oregon in 6, 7 days? The entire bridge. Debris was all up and down when I was walking the coast of California documenting this. And Fukushima, Japan. I got a helmet, a worker's helmet from Fukushima, Japan, right there in Pacific Beach, California. I still have it. And so into the California current, which splits up here like this all the way down. Now, the well collapse, is it all coincidence? You can go along with it. So this heat bubble, which Kevin Blanche predicted all that. I'm the guy that named the drought, which I've officially declared the drought over. It's over. Because what happened? Whatever this mass of hot air, of whatever is parked here, whatever you want to call it, it's unarguable. Any climatologist will verify this, has moved. So the jet stream's doing this radical thing. It's radical. It's shooting clear down here and then backing up in here. So it's bringing this Arctic air and then backing in, and then getting some storms across like this. But, San Diego's had probably the coldest winter, one of them they've ever had. Mexico City, one of the coldest winter they have. The West, after, from feast to famine. So I wanted to explain my hypothesis. First you hypothesize your knowledge, then you do the work. Made this globe famous. March Madness. I should go play for the Weber State basketball team. Maybe someone could make a clutch shot. So I predicted every bit of this to a T. First you hypothesize, then you do the knowledge, then you do the field. 12 years of incredible boots on the ground, document all the time. I predicted my own cancer. Had open heart surgery twice since then. I'm wounded just like the mighty blue lady, the Pacific Ocean. I fight for her. She fights for me. So it's not a political issue. So of course it gets no traction. The Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate has all the money. So remember Hillary Clinton said she had to go talk to Henry. So Kissinger's going to be 100 this year. That's what she's talking about. Remember her emails leaked out? The plume's coming over us right now. Wash your clothes, take a shower. Who do you think leaked those emails out? So got to talk to Henry before I go to Fukushima, Japan. Senator Wyden went to Fukushima multiple times, said it was much worse when we saw it. He won't talk about it. You know, Mike Lee promised me. I'm the only person I asked the head of the NRC, all these people, boots on the ground, right, with my camera. I was just reading. Kissinger's going to be 100. He had triple bypass surgery in 1982. Did you know I had my aortic valve replaced again for the second time in 5 years? As a birth defect, I was born with. My father knew at a test say. Did you know Kissinger had his aortic valve replaced at 91 years old? He's going to be 100 this month. Whoa. He still got the field. That noise, yeah, the nuclear toilet. We bring all the waste here. San Onofre. I mean, what a journey. So this heat mass, which is unarguable, the greatest drought in 1,200 years, you know, and so much of the West burned, not just California, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Colorado. I mean, God, I remember the fires in Colorado. They were epic, you know, in Idaho. So now it's shifted, and we go from snow famine to snow feast in Utah. We go from record drought to record snow in 1 year. It's weather whiplash on nuclearism. So I just wanted to explain that. You catch my Pacific Northern Drift. Breaking news. Fish swim. Breaking news. Ocean current Fugumi, not the jet stream. So they caught some fish here, you know, recently, 2022. The Fishing Alliance tested them, not any government, and they tested 1,400 becquerels per kilogram for season 137 in 2022. Season that has a very short half-life, means it's ongoing, and I'll post the link. TEPCO finally admitted yesterday about these meltdowns. They finally said they got a camera look at Unit 1 for the first time in 4,400 in 4 days. They told you in 4,400 days what 60 Minutes told you in 2,800 days, like what Kevin Blanch told you in 1 hour. So I'll post the link. They've admitted everything Kevin Blanch said, my work being verified. Stay tuned.